Good morning. This is Tara Stark, and I am here in Bluff Dale, Texas on the fabulous Double Horn Ranch. And I have the pleasure of sitting down this morning with Mr. Craig Cameron, who is a world champion and Hall of Fame member, and Mr. Cole Cameron, his son. And we're sitting here this morning, and we just want to invite you into their living room and have a conversation about life and legacy and family. And so, Mr. Cameron, I'm going to let you take off and just tell us a little about yourself and where you began this journey.
Well, it's been quite a journey and been going for quite a while now, but I was fortunate because my family always had ranches, and we had ranches down there in Austin County and Cat Spring, Texas, and then in Lee County near Giddings, we had a 2,000-acre ranch. So I grew up around that, and that's what I always really loved.
Yeah.
And I spent my summers there and a lot of time there learning the ranching business. And of course, being in the ranching business, I was always around horses and always had a love for the horses, and just always wanted to do a better job with the horses. So from there, I just kind of kept on rolling, and I was kind of at the right place at the right time. And we bought this place here, the Double Horn Ranch, my wife and I back in 1995. And but of course, we got Cole here coming along like gangbusters, and I'm really proud to say I guess like any dad would be, that he's following in my footsteps and making one heck of a cowboy and a great horseman. So we kind of got it rolling on here at the Double Horn Ranch, and of course we travel all over the world putting on horsemanship clinics, teaching people how to work with the horse and not against the horse, and that's an ongoing lifetime learning experience, as you well know.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I grew up in the cutting horse world, and so I was aware of Mr. Cameron years ago, and his horsemanship ways and his horse whispering ways, and
listener
ways. That's great. And I've never had the honor and privilege to meet you, so it's an honor to be here today. And take me back how you transitioned from your world. You started off in the rodeo world, right?
Well, ranching. I actually started off in the ranching business, but unlike a lot of young guys, all I want to do is be a cowboy.
Yeah.
And then once you get from there, you just want to be a really good cowboy. So from the ranching business, when I was about 17 or 18, I just said one day, back in those days, there wasn't a lot of people teaching you how to do things. I just said, I'm going to go enter a rodeo. I really want to rodeo. And so I entered in the bareback riding and in the bull riding, and had a summer job one year and went to the only rodeo school there was in the world back then. This was back in the 1960s. I went to Jim Shoulder's rodeo school in Henrietta, Oklahoma, but came back and just kept it rolling, and finally got my PRCA permit and filled that. And then from there, I was fortunate enough to ride in some of the biggest rodeos in the world. Got Gary, all those great rodeos, made a lot of great friends, and from there, some point you get too old to ride them bulls, which I rode a pretty long time, but and loved it and still love it. But from there, I just started riding and working horses for people, and I was fortunate enough to meet a man named Ray Hunt and Tom Dorrance, who taught me the philosophy of working with the horse and not against the horse, and seeing things from a horse's point of view. And that's something that you have to think about and really work at every day. It's not a method, it's a lifestyle, and that's something that I'm passing on to Cole right there, that he is really taking it and running with it, and I see it in the results of those horses. I always say the horse is a reflection of you, and so when I see those horses doing good, that says so much to me about what Cole's doing. So he's just rolling like a wheel, roping. He's doing extreme cowboy racing, but he's going to be in the colt starting world championships, and you earn your way to that. So this guy's just doing a great job, and so Dalene and I are really proud of him.
Absolutely. And I had the privilege of meeting Cole. What has it been? Almost 2 years ago now?
Ma'am. Almost 2 years.
And Cole does have he is a licensed real estate agent in the state of Texas, so y'all can reach out to Cole for that too. But it was an instant connection and bond, and through the horses, but it's through a philosophy, and it's through honor and through what you stand for. And so you say the word cowboy a lot, and so what does that word mean to you? What does it mean to be a good cowboy, better cowboy?
Well, I grew up, a lot of the stuff I learned back when I was a kid, a lot of those old men I learned from were actually born in the 1800s. But being a cowboy meant you were a man of your word. You said what you did what you said. You lived by that code, and you're there for your buddies if they need you, and you take care of the livestock and you take care of the land. Absolutely. I think that's important, and as our heritage here in Texas and here in America, that becomes a real lifestyle. I always say I think everybody in America has a little bit of cowboy in them, even if you live in New York.
Right, absolutely.
And I don't want us to lose that. I think that's important because it stands for freedom and a great work ethic and the code of the West. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, and that's kind of the way we like to do our horses as well. Mm-hmm. Treat them well, teach them the way you like somebody to teach you, work with them the way you like to work with them, and work with those horses as an individual because they are truly individuals. So what works with one horse doesn't necessarily work with the other. So you're adjusting to fit the horse, the situation, and the circumstance, and that changes from moment. I don't know how many outside horses he's riding. He starts at 5 in the morning, doing it the cowboy way, doesn't miss on these horses. Got a great work ethic and doing things right. I go out there and watch him. When he was a kid, I felt like I was having to correct him and do it. Boy, today, I'll tell you what, I'm kind of learning from him, so doing a great job. But Cole, as you get out there every day, that's a lot of hard work to do it the right way.
Yeah, it is. I think horse training, just like real estate or anything else, I think you truly have to be passionate and love what you're doing because especially getting out here and riding these colts and we're getting a lot of tough colts in. So you have to really love it. You have to come out here every morning and kind of be excited to do it. And that's what I am. I'm excited, and every day I just try to get a little bit better than I was yesterday. So
that's kind of our philosophy. Yeah. Ride better today than you did yesterday. And don't just say it. We don't like to just talk the talk. We like to walk the walk and really mean it. But Cole talking about passion, we always say passion is power, a love of what you do. And I don't think you can do a great job with these horses if you don't really love them and love that way of life and want to better these horses. And again, that end result really comes and shines through when you do a good job.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. It does show up. And so, Cole, what's it like to get to ride with a legend, but yet who also happens to be your dad?
It's lately we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we're really preparing for Road to the Horse has been kind of a blessing for us, for me, really in general, because I really got to bear down on the colt starting, and I feel like it was something I never really fully got into. I did. We've always started colts, but to really study it every day and to work under him full time and just really trying to learn the ins and outs of starting just all sorts of different horses, and that's been a good bonding experience for us. It was disappointment that Road to the Horse was canceled, obviously, but I guess the positive is, hey, we get another year to get ready. So
right,
hopefully
absolutely.
We'll be there next year.
That's what I was definitely going to ask is what changed during that period of time, other than that it lasts another year, that it's put off a year. So tell me about that time.
Well, we were really, from January to March, we were getting after it. We had a bunch of outlaws in, and we were just doing round pin work, and these ones are trying to paw you.
Yeah, they weren't even all together, so we were making it tough on ourselves.
We were making it hard on ourselves, and we were studying. We were watching colt starting stuff every night. We were studying. We were living it, right? Just like you're preparing for the Super Bowl, and you're getting ready to, you're studying your other team's defense or something. So once that kind of folded and Road to the Horse canceled, we kind of just slowed it down. We're taking, we've obviously changed from a bunch of outlaws in the barn to our regular training program, but we're always practicing. That's just kind of what we do, that the colt starting, round pin, and problem horses is kind of our specialty. So
we do, and we work those horses again as individuals, but we do here on the ranch what we call cross training. We came up with that term years and years ago. Again, we start these horses with a great foundation, just like a cutting horse. We got a lot of horses here that are going to go into cow work and stuff like that, but that foundation of flexibility, position, control, working with these horses physically, mentally, emotionally, mind, body, and spirit. We lay that great foundation. We start in the round pen, or sometimes just in the arena, depending on the horse, and then from there, We do arena work, we do obstacle work, we do cow work, we do trail work. So when people come and get these horses, I mean, they're really ready, and they're stopping good, they're backing good, they're rolling back, we're roping off of them.
Awesome.
I mean, these horses are ready to roll in any direction you want to take them. So yeah, so we really try to do a great job with these horses, so that people, they want to come back when they got another colt. There's not a question of where they're going to come. Yeah.
So tell me, how did the love of the horse and making the horse better every day and you better every day, how did that transition into all of the clinics and then ultimately TV shows and all of this celebrity that you created?
Well, you know what? Really, I think I was just kind of in the right place at the right time. And
he met Dalene.
Now what? Well, there you go.
I got way over my head.
Now I'm going to stop you right there. You're being very humble, and I appreciate that. But one thing I know, there's a lot of people in the right place at the right time that don't take the risk and step through their comfort zone and step on into something that challenges them. So that's an amazing thing.
Back then, there was no such thing as clinicians. There wasn't really any videos you could buy. There wasn't any such thing as a video, actually.
What'd you say? You put a clipping in the newspaper?
Just clip it in the paper, but we'd just take any horse anywhere, anytime. But what would happen, people started bringing to these kind of outlaw horses, and then when they'd come back and get them, they were just amazed at the difference, and they'd say, "What did you do?" And then they wanted to come watch. So I always said, when I started making them pay, they really started listening.
Yes.
So, but that's how it started for me. And again, meeting Ray Hunt and Tom Dorrance really helped me with that working with the horse and understanding the nature of the horse, the mechanics of the horse, and from there it just began to grow for me. And before you know it, people were asking me to come here and come there, and when I'd go there, there'd be these people that had never seen this stuff before, and so then the reporters would show up, they'd want to do a story on it, because here was this man taking these horses that had never been saddled or rode in an hour or so. He was riding them around.
That's what I think he got it, because they would do these round pen demos, and they'd find the baddest outlaw in town, and he'd have them riding around under saddle in an hour demo.
Wow.
But when he first got going, I'm looking at a schedule from back then, in the late 90s and early. I think I have the 2002 one at home. I look at every now and then. He was booked every single day in a different city, in a different state, doing colt starting demos. So he'd go to one after the next. They'd bring him a horse.
There was my wife doing all. She was booking me like B.B. King. One place to the next.
I mean, it was crazy
We
to
got
look
spot
at.
put it right here.
But you know what I did too? I also worked. I know you ride a lot of good cutting horses and do a great job in the non-pro division. But I worked for people like Keith Barnett and Greg Welsh. I started all their colts.
Wow.
Bobby Hunt and Don Munn and John White. A lot of great cutters back then. And so I would go to their places. I do this with a lot of different outfits. I'd go to their place.
Waters too.
Yeah, LA Waters.
See, back in that day, I know all those people.
And so I would go and start all their colts. And actually, I worked for LA Waters. I lived on his ranch, and I lived on Ralph Lauren's ranch. I started horses for Bum Phillips and Red Adair and a lot of celebrities, Finally just got rolling, and pretty soon, this RFD TV thing came out. And Patrick actually called us, and he said, "I'm starting up this TV show, and I just wondered if we could use your videos to put on the show." And that's how it started. So, Dalene said, we'll send you some. And before you know it, we got asked to be a part of the show, and that was a big deal. Yeah. And that really grew and got our name out there. And of course, we've traveled really all over the world doing this. And then Cole is now doing that. Cole's, golly, he's been, I don't know how many times you've been to Australia and Europe and New Zealand, and just rolling like a wheel and just spreading the word by example. We don't do anything here by ourselves that we wouldn't do at a big expo in front of thousands of people, and we live that life. Sometimes people say, "How do you just maintain your patience?" I say, patience is waiting without worrying. I pretend you're watching me, or Ray Hunt's watching me, or I tell Dalene, I tell Cole, I say, pretend your favorite horseman. I say, you pretend Ray Hunt's sitting right there watching you. when nobody else is around. I said, and that'll keep you good. So, man, I watch him when he doesn't know I'm watching him. He's rock solid.
Yeah.
He does a great job. You can't lose your temper. You can't get mad. You can't get upset. You stay the course, offer it in a way they can understand, give them the time it takes for them to understand.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So when you go to these clinics and you've got the horses, do you also work with people?
Yeah. Wait, well, that's really what we do. You know, Cole and I do that. Like, we have the clinics here at the ranch. We do them on the road. Just this last month, with the COVID going on, I think people are ready to get out. So we've been traveling. We've been to Louisiana. We've been to California, Colorado, Wisconsin. And what we do is really we work with the people. And because, you know what, I tell people, and it's so true, and I know you know it, as a veteran horsewoman right there, that when we get good, the horses get good. So we tell people, don't work so much on the horse as you work on yourself. Feel, timing, rhythm, tempo, balance, patience, consistency, understanding, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And you know, it's just life. You know, horsemanship's just life. You get what you get. So if you're going to give it rough and tough, whether it's a dog or a kid or a person, I bet that's the way you're going to get it back. But if you give it with meaning and understanding, with patience, usually you get back a really great result.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so much passion I hear in your voice about that. And, you know, so it's day in and day out. And I hear you talk about the love, and you can't wait to get up and go at it again in the morning. And so what is it? I mean, a horse is always different every day, you know, and you typically leave them this day knowing what you think, as you learn them, what they're going to be like the next morning, as you layer on top of what you put on them the day before. And so what is that? What drives you to get up each day to make that difference? And so what is that causes that?
You know, you'll be able to answer that one better than me. But I will say, lately though, I've gotten so in love with it, and I study it. I watch videos now online. It's so easy to do, and I'm constantly thinking about, like, sometimes it bothers me. Like, lately I've gone out and I've had a bad ride on one. It just didn't go right, and it bothers me all day long. And then sometimes at night or in the evening, I'm like, should I go back out there and ride him again? And I'm like, I shouldn't do that because he had enough today, you know. And it'll bother me all night, and then finally the next morning I'm like, yeah, I finally get to go maybe fix whatever happened yesterday and have a good ride on him. And it's just the drive there for me. It's just so strong. At this point, I live it. And maybe I used to think on the weekend I'm going to go down to the river and go see everybody or do something. Now I'm just like, I want to come ride horses. You know, I want to go to a rope, and I want to be here working with my colts and feeding them and hanging out with them and getting to know their personalities. And so, you know, it's just turned into a way of life for me. So I don't know if I really answered the question.
No, you know what? I like what he said. An awareness of what's happening. He's trying to evaluate it, like what happened before it happened that made that good or made that bad. And that's what I like to see, that thing. That's what we talk about when we say physical, mental, emotional, mind, body, and spirit. You know, the one thing you can control is your emotions. So if you have that love, you have that desire to get it better each and every time, where it's not just better for you, it's better for you and the horse. The horse is more relaxed, more comfortable when you finish than you were when you started. Man, that's progress. And we love that. You know, we want these horses to be relaxed, to be comfortable. You can tell when a horse is troubled or bothered or unsure. Our job with the horses, make them happy, feel. Again, what we're trying to develop is make these horses get more sure. And that's really important to us. So, again, not troubled and bothered, but more sure. Safe, sure, certain, and secure. Just like we like to feel. So
that's so awesome. It's a philosophy of life, actually.
Oh, it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just life. You know that. And these horses are thinking, feeling, decision-making animals. So if we can be there to help them make the right decision, get what we want, get our idea to become their idea. Then it becomes resistant-free. Whether you're working on a cow or crossing, I mean, Cole the other day, just out of nowhere, we got all these obstacle courses and challenge trails. He said, I'm going to go enter that extreme cowboy racing in Oklahoma. I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm going to take this little horse Psycho. Before I know it, he's a little 3-year-old. Before I know it, he's coming home. He's got a new buckle. He's won damn.
I had a blast though. It was so fun.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about him. Once he gets rolling, man, he's like a runaway train. He's hard to stop. So, but in his roping, he's just doing phenomenal. But shoot, he's worked for cutters. He's worked for rein cow horses, people. Man, who's some of the guys you worked for? Al Dunning. Who else?
Al, and then Jade Keller, who was under Al for a long time. And then I've ridden with Clay Volmer, and it's great hand, and just Mike Beers. I rode with him for a while. Just a handful of great horsemen who have just cherished the time with. But then ultimately, I've spent years and years under you. So I think I've been able to learn from all these different people, and then come here and then ride and start to figure things out on my own, and just put it together. And, and I think this business, just like real estate and really any business you want to be a professional at these days, takes a lot of time. And I feel like I'll be 33 next month, and finally I feel like I'm starting to maybe figure some of this stuff out with the horses, and I think back to maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I'm like, dang, I just didn't know anything. But I feel like now it's starting I'm starting to figure stuff out. So
one door opens, a whole bunch more right there.
And every new horse brings something new.
So it's that's what I say. It's that ongoing, lifetime learning experience. Man, horses are just amazing, and they teach you so much about yourself as well. But like here on the Double Horn Ranch, what I love, again, this American way of life. We don't want to take this freedom for granted that we have here. We're so lucky to live in the greatest country in the world, and what I want to do is pass this legacy along, this cowboy way of life, this American way of life, this free way of life, and pass this ranch along. And I'm hoping, he's seeing a girl right now we really like, Amy Wilson, who works for RFD.
I'm sorry she couldn't be here today.
Yeah,
she's out working.
She would have loved. She was sad that she wasn't able to be here.
Well, we'll just have to do it again.
Yeah, that's what she said.
We're hoping something will happen, Dalene and I, maybe because we'll have some grandkids and pass this thing
No
along.
pressure.
I get a little ahead of myself there, but that's the kind of what I was looking forward to that stuff. So, but so you got your cow horse deal going too. So and they're going to maybe have the Derby coming up.
Yes, sir. Very fortunate. I hadn't had a horse in 15 years. When I got into the real estate world, I stepped out of that world. Life happens. You do what you need to do to move forward. And so I finally was in a position to say, okay, I can now go do this. And bought myself a horse in February, and then a few weeks later we locked in.
And your father was
and my dad was a horse trainer, so I grew up in that world on ranches, and I love that way of life, and it speaks to my soul. It is my passion. And
your daughter Lauren rides.
And so,
isn't that interesting? Like Dalene, her grandparents ran a wheat farm in Plentywood, Montana.
That is on. You could throw a rock to Canada.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's got. But she grew up in in Tempe, which is near Phoenix. But she just had this desire and a love for horses and that cow. Sometimes you're just born with that.
Yes, sir.
But I got to mention Dalene real quick. This beautiful ranch we have here. I wouldn't have all this stuff. And she does the business side. You talk about non-stopping, rolling like a real workaholic, and does things to perfection. We probably wouldn't have what we have. We get to do what we do without Dalene. So I wanted to throw that in. Who's also a great horseman, really knows horses, and really got a great eye, I'll tell you what, for horses. So.
I love hearing that. I can hear your passion and y'all's love for each other, and the family bond, and that brand of what you are, what you stand for. I mean, it's evident. It's evident arriving on your property. It's evident in listening to you. It's evident in your aura around each other. It's nothing that's scripted. It's real, and I'm sure that's what your horses feel as well. So I'm going to ask this question. I think I already know the answer, but so do you think you're ever going to retire?
You know what? I don't want to just completely retire. I'm going to slow down a little bit. I've been a many a mile, and I made a lot of horse tracks, but I truly love it. To this day, when I get on the horse, I still, love that feeling just getting up there. It's the greatest seat in the world, and so, I want to keep working and riding, but as I slow down, I see Cole just coming on strong, and that gives me a good feeling right there. So yeah, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep riding, keep teaching, and I say no man stands taller than when he sits on the back of a horse.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping Cole, as I slow down a little, this guy's coming on, taking up the slack right here, and again, so proud of him. This guy's an amazing horseman. Yeah.
what I admire so much is the big dream, big vision of taking the cowboy way and spreading it across the world, and having a business vision with it. And so, is there anything next? Is there something undone that you would love to go do that you haven't yet done?
Oh, there's a couple things I'm going to do yet. I just want to keep spreading this education more so, and this love for the horse. I'm not afraid to call it love. I have a great love for the horse and the cowboy way of life and the ranching way of life, and I just want people to feel what I feel. So I'm going to keep working on that, and I've written 2 books for Western Horsemen. I've got another book I'm working on right now.
Yeah?
A little bit different. Going to be a little bit different type of book. So keep an eye out for that. So yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire, and shoot, I'm not weakening. I'm just getting warmed up.
Yeah, I love it.
Any personal goals?
Just to finish that book, one of them. And Dalene always laughs at me. Play the guitar. I'm going to make me a little music DVD one day. I'm going to do that too. So,
hey, I love it. That's awesome.
We got a wildlife program on part of our ranch. I want to keep developing that. Yeah. But just to be a better horseman, a better cowboy, and a better man, and to make the world a better place. Just see somebody without a smile, give them one of mine. So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Just gonna keep going. I'm so early in my career, young in my career, that I just want to keep learning and keep being great and living keep working with him and just learning this legacy and not just the horse deal. I have a lot to learn, just the ranching, and we do some cow work too, and so we're constantly we had cows that got out yesterday.
Yes, right. Yeah. We had to go and get them.
Yeah, we had to go catch some cows.
Down on the river.
I have fun doing all that. We have some friends that own a big ranch out in New Mexico, and they go gather and do all the cowboy work a couple times a year.
Oh, we go to Brandon's. We love all that.
Yeah, I'd say I'd like to do some more of that stuff with you. We love that.
Yeah.
Just go to cow camp and brand and.
Time is just precious and fabulous. You get to spend it together. I know I work with my daughter and my brother. It's wonderful to be able to have that relationship strong enough to work together, and because it can be difficult for a lot of people. But I see such a love. I mean, you've used that word a lot. Love of the land. I mean, there's something special about that.
We really work hard to take care of our property, not overgraze it, take care of the wildlife. The wildlife to me is a valuable natural resource. There's so many things that go into it, and it is, again, almost 7 days a week. There's no end to ranching, as you know.
Yeah, sure.
So, and taking care of the horses, taking care of the livestock, the cattle, the wildlife, everything. It's a heck of a way of life.
It is.
We don't want to trade it for nothing else. So,
I want to take a moment and take you back to something you said just a little bit ago about America and about this way of life that we have and this freedom that we have. And you said it so well. And I think July 4th we're upon it, and
right.
In our nation. Yeah. And I pray for our nation and our world.
Yes.
And is there anything that you would love and wish to see today?
Well, I think I'd like to see our youth be more familiar with our history. What a great country and what a privilege to live here that we have, to understand how this country has evolved, and we are evolving. And it's not that anybody's perfect or nobody makes mistakes, but it's just like horsemanship. Hopefully we're learning from it. We're going to keep it growing, keep it going, but we must learn to stay free and value these things and pass this down to our children, and live like champions, I always say live like champion, ride like a champion. And so in America we have the opportunity to do that. I think the American dream was if you were willing to work, you could get anything you want. So it's not, I don't want somebody to hand it to me, but I want that ability that if I'm willing to work, I can achieve anything. And I think that goes for anybody that lives here in America.
Yeah. I mean, you look what you've achieved by riding a horse.
Yeah, that's right. I owe it all to the horse, you bet.
That is so
and this great country, our veterans. My dad was a World War II and Korean veteran, and so many of my friends, and you know, we just don't want to forget these guys or this way of life that we've achieved. Let's not take it for granted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add, Mr. Cole?
No, I mean, I'm pretty good. I'd say the same thing. Just, you know, I just wish this, I hope we come together as a country and stay strong, you know, and get to continue to do what we love to do, all of us. So,
Well, I also want to thank God for
thank
what
God.
we have
Yeah,
too. You
absolutely.
know, I mean, we try. I think by living on the land, we stay real close to Him,
Yes, sir.
and that's our church out there. And you know, we like to stay close to Him, and definitely we have that good feeling where we know right from wrong, and we always want to take that trail, the right trail, as much as we
Absolutely.
can. Yeah.
I love it. What an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank y'all for welcoming
Oh,
me
yeah.
into your home.
Hey, thanks for what you do.
Yeah, really.
And this is so cool. And hey, good luck to you
Thank
this
you.
coming
We're
weekend.
so
Yeah.
excited.
I want to hear how you do.
Okay,
So,
we'll report
absolutely.
back. And so, you know, again, it's an honor. Thank you, Cole, the connection
Thank you.
we've made, and also to your mom. And it's a real privilege to be here. So thank you, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let us know what you think, and we look forward to the next time. Thank you.